Hello, my beautiful queens. It's your girl, Lindy Nala here. Welcome to our third segment of relationships and dating for women for this year, 2021. I trust that you guys are keeping safe and that you are still adhering to COVID-19 regulations and protocols. It has been a while, I know, since we had our last sessions. I have just been occupied with work commitments as of late, but I promise you that I will make a habit of recording more of those videos in the future on a regular basis. All right. On that note, I'm just going to share with you the discussion for today. Really, it was sparked or it was brought about by a message, a DM that I received from one of our followers on our YouTube channel. Her name is Tash, and this is how the message goes. It says, "Dear Lindy, I have been dating a guy for the past 3 years. We have a very good thing going, except that every time when we need to make decisions concerning our relationship, he runs to his brothers or his friends for advice. Please help. I really like this guy and I see a future with him. But I'm not sure if I can be able to handle this aspect of his personality, and that is, i.e., inability to make decisions about our relationship. Please help. Love, Tash." All right, so there we go. Dear sisters, this is a very concerning message from one of our own followers. And I'm sure it also sort of, maybe there's many others out there who are currently, in similar situations. So it could apply to many of you out there. You could be involved with a guy, or you could be married to someone, who has, kind of displayed these tendencies, and you're just probably at wit's end and you don't know what to do. And because probably this is not what you may have signed up for if you are already married. So in the next few minutes, I'm just going to indicate to you as to what this might be, especially when it comes to psychological terminology. These type of people are usually referred to as, codependency type of personality or traits, if I can call it that. So in the next few minutes, I'll just highlight to you as to what are those signs that you need to look out for, especially when just assessing whether or not the person that you are involved with, the person that you are dating, or the person that you are married to could probably have, these codependency traits. The first one, really, I need to just highlight to you is the one that Tash has already mentioned. They struggle. These people have a tendency to struggle to make decisions, about their own lives, about, crucial decisions, whether to purchase a house or whether to purchase a car, or what kind of car needs to be purchased, or what schools the children needs to be sent to, or how the family should be spending, their money, or what holiday they should be going to in the next summer, or etc. All of those type of decisions. You find that these people are constantly struggling to make crucial decisions about their lives and also the lives of their loved ones. All right, they are constantly in need of help or assistance from family members or brothers or friends or whatever the case may be. So that's just one of the traits. And then the other one is they can't connect with their own emotions. As a result, what they do is they just put aside their own feelings. So they have an inability just to deal with their own feelings, because there's a disconnect that is happening within. All right. So that is something that you need to be on the lookout for. And then another thing I've also learned over the years is they avoid conflict or confrontation. So I know in my dating sort of experience as well, I've encountered a few of those characters, when you find that it's like they're constantly just trying by all means just to avoid having a confrontation or having that tension in their relationship, just for fear of maybe they might probably lose the fight, or the that confrontation. I'm not quite sure what really the fear is out of it, but it's something that is subconsciously they instantly, try and just run away from any form of conflict and confrontation. But the sad thing about it is, I mean, either way, one way or another, that confrontation or that issue, that discussion has to happen. And because the issue will eventually come up, it will resurface in one form or another. And unfortunately, it's something that is unavoidable. We have to go through it so that we can be able to grow as a couple. So that is something that you might probably be on the lookout for when making your own evaluation. The next one is they have a belief that other people's needs or wants are more important than theirs. They always seem to think whatever is happening in their own lives is more important than what is going on in their partner's life. Okay, so they still the child, in them, so they haven't quite matured as they should. So that is the reason why they always feel that they are more important or more superior than others. And it's not a fault of your own. It's just something that they have to deal with. It could have maybe been brought about by their upbringing. Maybe there could have been a void in their lives. Maybe there was an absent parent, a mother or father, or whatever the case may be. And maybe as a result, that absent parent kind of created a void within. And that is why they just, feel that the world revolves around them and they're not able to connect to another person's needs. All right. So that is just another trait that you might just want to be aware of. And another one I'm going to just throw in there is they have a tendency to be very needy. Oh boy. They constantly need that reassurance. You have to constantly let them know that they are loved. You have to let them know that they are, that you appreciate them, and all of these lovely things, and sort of like affirmations kind of a thing. I mean, as I said before, it stems from that void once again. That when they were young, they were not given that affirmation. They were not told by people or that raised them, who were playing, the parental role in their lives. They were not told that they were loved, and obviously they grew up with that constant desire to keep hearing, that affirmation from, people within their close proximity that they are loved, and that kind of gives them that assurity, because most of the time you find that they are scared, they are afraid to be alone. They're just people that cannot deal with being on their own. As a result, you find that they cling to their partners and they become very needy and very, very demanding. And it can be very, very draining, especially for someone who is not used to hanging around someone with that type of personality or trait. Right. And then the next one is they seem to display, or they come across as a victim, or they have this victim mentality. They always want to be rescued. They always, poor me, come across with this poor me sort of mindset, and as a result, they just tend to want to bend over backwards to please others. They come across as people pleasers because, they have a need to feel wanted, and the only way to, to feel wanted is, to bend over backwards, and they don't seem to have any boundaries as to what is acceptable and what is not acceptable. So that is somebody that definitely suffers from a codependency trait. So that's something that you might just want to be on the lookout for during your courting days. Another one is they have, as I mentioned earlier, they have no boundaries, and they tend to allow other people to control them. So the fact that they don't have boundaries, obviously it's going to result in other people, controlling them and pulling them in whichever direction that, or maybe manipulating them to do things for them. And that is something that's it's an unhealthy trait for anyone to have. And as a result, people can probably take advantage of you. because now if you don't have any boundaries, you are prone to be exposed, because people will eventually learn that they can just manipulate you to do anything they want, and for the mere fact that you're not going to have any confrontations or sort of real sort of debates with them, that they know people will eventually get to understand that this is the type of character you are. And unfortunately, these people are always taken advantage of, and hence the victim mentality. All right. So just keep your eyes open. If you have seen maybe in your partner, those are some of the traits that they've displayed. It could be that you are dating a codependent person, or that you are married to a codependent partner. And another trait, the final one I need to mention, obviously, which is very much linked to this type of personality, is these people have, they have insecurities from within. They are constantly anxious. They are always second guessing themselves of what, or maybe worried about what people think of them. They suffer from that syndrome of what will people say type of a thing. So be aware of those type of characters, because it can be very dangerous. Sometimes you might find yourself having to rescue these people because they've made the wrong decisions, and but out of fear or out of insecurities, you have to constantly be trying to dig them out of the pit that they've dug themselves into, because they constantly have a need just for validation. Really, these are empty people. There's emptiness inside, of which it's linked, I would say it's probably linked to a lack of self-worth, if I can call it that. And that is something you will have to constantly be feeding on a regular basis. So if you do find yourself in a marriage with someone like that, just be aware, my dear sisters, that it has nothing to do with you, but it has everything to do with their upbringing, their experiences when they were growing up, how they were raised, and also that void that they probably had, from one parent who was not there for them in their, childhood, as they were growing up as a little guy. So I hope this information has been very informative to you. If you have any questions, do drop us your questions on our comments box below. We really look forward to more of your engagements, ladies. Don't you forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, which is called Relationships and Dating for Women. Subscribe for more relationship advice and other related uplifting content. We look forward to hearing from each and every one of you. And that's the end of our discussion for today. I trust that you are keeping well, and until we meet up again, do take care of yourselves, my lovely queens. I love you a lot. Ciao for now, and goodbye.